Welcome back to a brand new episode of Mastering Programming. In today's episode, I want to do something a bit unique, and that is I want to compare my results and ChatGPT results against an AI detection system. What I'm going to do is going to be very simple. I'm going to start by writing a paragraph on my own in the AI detection system and see what scoring that receives, and then I'm going to use ChatGPT to generate a paragraph and submit it here and also see what is the percentage. And then after we have these two controls or these two answers, I'm going to be trying to use ChatGPT based on my score and actually try beat my score using ChatGPT. So there's going to be a lot of experimentation. I haven't done this before, I don't know the answers, and we're going to find out what the end result is. At the moment, I am using the paid version of ChatGPT. I'm using version 4.5 just because it's the one that says good for writing and exploring ideas. So we're going to have a look at how that works. Now, let's get started. I'm going to probably speed this up a little bit, but I'm going to write a random paragraph. And maybe let's make it an intro to a YouTube video. Alright, so this is the paragraph that I created. It doesn't seem so cool. I just said hi and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be using ChatGPT to write an introduction to my YouTube video and see if AI detection tools can pick it up. I'll then use ChatGPT to write the same paragraph using basic prompt and submit it in the AI detection tool to see if it would beat my score or even come close. After that, I'll be generating multiple paragraphs to see if there is any comparisons or if we can train ChatGPT to beat my score. Thank you for watching. Very simple, very easy. I'm going to click detect text and let's have a look what it says. So wow, okay, so it said 0% AI GPT. So there is a 0% chance this was generated by AI. It says your text is human written, which is actually amazing. I thought I was going to get anything, like I thought I was gonna get, I didn't get anything highlighted, which is actually making me really happy. But also I think that's because my quality of English is actually bad. Like I think if my writing was much better, if I was able to put better grammar, use better words and so on, I think this would have received a higher score. What I'll do is I'm gonna now go to ChatGPT and I'm going to say write me 500 characters paragraph of an introduction to my YouTube video where I will be comparing ChatGPT and me and submit the paragraph generated by both to an AI detection tool and see which one gets a better score. So this is the paragraph, this is the prompt that I said. I'm gonna make sure, right now I'm not gonna say try beat an AI detection system, I'm just going to submit this and let's see if it generates something that can beat my score. So just for memories, mine received a 0%. Let's go ahead and actually let's save this somewhere. So just so that we have some reference to it. Okay. So this is the one that ChatGPT wrote. So it says, in today's video, I'll be putting my writing skills head to head with ChatGPT. We'll each create a 500 character paragraph on the same topic, then run them through an AI detection tool to see which gets flagged as human generated content. Curious if ChatGPT can ask my detectors or if I'll have the upper hand. Stick around, I'll review the scores and break down exactly how well those tools identify AI written compared to my own original writing. Let's see who wins. Okay, so let's highlight this and copy it and place it in the detection tool and see detect text. Wow. Okay, so I'll be honest, when I first started this video, I thought that it was going to definitely get at least some score when ChatGPT is done generating it compared to me. Pretty surprised that it didn't even create anything here. Alright, well let's say create a longer paragraph. And let's see if creating longer content will flag it. So this is the same. Alright, let's copy this one, which is a more like a larger paragraph. and it is still getting 0% AI GPT. Wow, okay. Now, I want to do something interesting. I want to say, can you write me a paragraph that would be picked up by an AI detection tool? So now I want to manually actually ask it if it can create. Okay. So let's copy this and paste it over here. Whoa. Okay, so this one got 100% AI generated, and I'm just gonna read it out. So, artificial intelligence, specifically, ChatGPT represents a significant advancement in technology capable of processing generated text and human. ChatGPT is based on machine learning algorithm and neural networks, allowing it. So, why would this be 100% AI generated? I'm actually going to ask ChatGPT and ask why. Why did this receive 100% ChatGPT generated? I'm very curious to understand how these tools actually work and why that is the case. Like going from 100% to from 0% to 100%, even though this seems to be the same to me, is insane. So here it said, predictable sentence structure. Each sentence follows a straightforward, repetitive format typical of AI-generated content. General statements. The paragraph consists primarily of broad claims without specific detailed examples, making it appear generic or templated. Formal tone. The use of overly formal or academic language combined with terms frequently employed in AI training. Okay. Lack of originality and personal perspectives. There are no personal insight, subjective opinions, or unique. Alright, so this is actually very interesting to me because it's able to generate a paragraph that would receive a 0% when it comes to AI detection, and then you're also able to generate a paragraph that passes as 100%, and that was when I specifically asked it to write me something that would be detected. So that is very interesting to me, and now I actually sort of want to write a paragraph on my own and see if I can trick this tool into thinking that it was generated by AI. Now, as I can see, some of the things that it picks up on is predictable sentence structure, general statements, formal tone, and lack of originality and personal perspectives. And I'm really interested to see if a human can actually replicate that. So let's go ahead and even write something about electric vehicles, for example. So I'm going to say electric very simple and very silly paragraph, but I am actually very interested to see if this would pass. I think I've ticked off almost all 4 of these criteria, so let's have a look and detect the text. I don't understand. So why can't I replicate what ChatGPT is doing? I think this is almost exactly the same. What we will do is I'm going to copy this and I'm going to say this paragraph is currently getting 0 AI detection score. Can you change it so that it receives 100? I'm actually very interested to see if it can take a paragraph that I wrote and change it in a way so that it would get 100% AI detection. So this is what I wrote, and this is what it's writing now. Electric vehicles currently present one of the most efficient and cost-effective transportation options. Okay, so let's have a look. Let's copy this, because I'm realizing a pattern here that I'm not too sure I'm happy with. But, okay, so it got 55% AI GPT. Now, here is the thing. This is what I wrote, and this is what ChatGPT wrote. Oh, sorry. This is what I wrote, and this is what ChatGPT wrote. And from what I'm seeing, the only difference, like literally the only difference between these two is that mine was poorly written. My English here was horrible. My grammar wasn't that well. My vocabulary wasn't that good either, like I'm using very basic words. The only difference between this one and that one was not the personality. It's exactly the same paragraph. It wasn't the human part of it. It was exactly the same. It wasn't the lack of originality. It's exactly the same content. It was literally based on just the grammar and the vocabulary. If I read this again, electric vehicles currently represent, instead of electric vehicles are the best and most affordable, one of the most efficient and cost-effective transportation options available in today's automotive market. They provide dependable performance, advanced infotainment technology, environmentally friendly interiors, and impressive driving range capabilities on just a single battery charge. Consequently, electric vehicles have successfully captured significant attention from consumers who are newly interested in entering the automobile market. Now, believe it or not, this was the point that I was hoping to reach, but using the opposite. I was hoping that I can write things that would be picked up on as AI detected, while ChatGPT doesn't. The opposite thing happened, and it is the exact same point, just the opposite that I was trying to do, is that there is a problem now that things that are well written, or things that have a good vocabulary, good grammar, good English in general, will tend to be picked up by detectors as ChatGPT generated or AI generated, simply because they are better worded, better written. And I think that's a problem, because this one, completely forget ChatGPT, and before anything like this came around, if two students submitted this paragraph to the teacher, one submitted this one and the other one submitted this one definitely would have received a higher mark than this one. Even though they're both talking about the exact same thing and almost exactly the exact same points, actually they are exactly the same points, this one would have received a better mark because it has better English and grammar, while this one doesn't. It lacks that. And so now, however, once we're starting to have ChatGPT generate these sort of standard, that sort of academic standard when it comes to writing, things are changing, because if a teacher submits both those paragraphs into a detection tool, or if it automatically happens, just how it happens with Turnitin, for example, this one would be marked and the student might face some penalties, while this one wouldn't, even though this is how we all should be writing. Like, this is a crappy paragraph, while this one is just a good paragraph. It's exactly the same and written exactly the same way. There's no like funny characters or anything like that, but just because this one is actually good, it's being marked down, or it's going to be picked up. And it's just something that I wanted to think about and see how we can sort of tackle this, or how we can fix it in the future. I guess that's why whoever's marking needs to pay attention to things like that. Basically, this was the video. I just wanted to experiment with ChatGPT, just like we usually do, and see if I can beat it or not. It ended up beating me in a very cool way. You can literally specify the level that you want it to be picked up on, which I found very cool. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next episode.